Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So in this video I'm going to show you how you can replace a computer power supply. Now this is the power supply that my friend gave to me, and unfortunately this is not working. It works for a couple of minutes and then it shuts off. So the computer runs for a couple of minutes, then the computer shuts off. So this is the new power supply that I got, and the reason I got this particular one is that it was available and it was the cheapest I could find. Now the computer that I'm using this power supply for, it's not a very powerful computer. I'm still running a Pentium dual core processor, so that computer takes very less power. So this is from focus Zebronics, and you can see the model number ZEB N450W. Now this is not actually a 450 watt power supply. This is probably close to 200 or 250 watt power supply. Now since the power supply that I was using previously was this one, and this is the Intex power supply, and this is my favorite power supply so far, because this one lasted me for about more than 10 years, and the reason it failed is because of the dust accumulation, and because of the dust the fan stopped working and I couldn't notice it on time, and eventually one of the inductor got burned. So I opened the power supply and found that the inductor was not actually burnt, but it was de-shouldered from the shoulder pads. So there were 10 shoulder points, so I shouldered back the inductor and this power supply worked for another 6 or 7 days. After that the inductor completely shorted out and it completely stopped working. So I was looking for another Intex power supply in the market, but I couldn't find any, and on the internet the price of the power supply, such power supply, was about 600 or 700 rupees, 699 rupees. And here is my bill. You can see the Zebronics, focus, Zebronics 450 SMPS, and the total price I paid is rupees 500 at my local market. So instead of buying online, I looked in my local market and I got this new power supply for 500 rupees. Now right off the bat I can see that the quality of the casing is not very good when I compare it to these old power supply. It literally feels really cheap, feels a little light too. And if I look at the connector, let me just open it first. So this is the power supply. It's got a fan, no on-off switch, unlike my previous one which came with the switch. This one is from Dell, and this is also a really good quality power supply. Sorry, this is from Enhance Electronics, and it came with a HCL computer. So this also was a very good power supply, and it also stopped working after many long years of usage. So this is the new one, and if you look at the connector, they feel a little cheap. The plastic doesn't feel very good quality when you compare them to these old style white colored connectors. So still this was available at a cheaper price, so I bought it. And here is the power supply. The plus point of this one was that for 500 rupees I got the power supply as well as the power cable. Now you may not get the power cable, or if you're lucky you may get the power cable. So if I look at the power cable, if you compare it to my previous power cable, so this is my previous power cable, and as you can see it feels much better quality and much stiffer cable. The quality of the cable also feels very good quality, and the plug of this cable, if you look at the plug, that is the plug. The biggest plug that you can see is from the power cable. And if you look at this new, which is here, the plug looks very small and the cable doesn't feel very good quality. One other thing that I noticed is, if you look at the prongs of the inside connector, you can see that they are not very thick, and if you compare that to the previous one, this looks a little thicker than the newer one. So let's just plug it in. Let me show you how you can connect a power supply. Okay, so this is my computer, and as you can see, this is missing a power supply. So what I would do is I would insert the power cable, the power supply from here, and it will rest on this piece. So let me just do that. So this is my computer, and as you can see, it is missing a power supply. So let's just take our power supply. What I would do is I would feed the power supply from here, and it will come on top of this slab. There we go. And now you will see that there are 4 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got some screws. So take the screws that you have and tighten them down. That's one screw. Let's take another one and put it here. That's 2. And let me just attach 2 more screws. Okay, so the power supply is now attached. Let's connect the power cable. So here is the power cable, your 3-pin power cable. It will plug in like this. And since this power supply doesn't come with any switch, you don't have to turn it on. Now let's lay down our PCB, the cabinet, so that it will be easier for us to install other things. I hope you can see. Let me turn on the flash. There we go. Now you can see there are a bunch of connectors in the power supply. What we need to do is take the biggest connector that we have, which is this one, and this will feed in through there, and this will connect to the biggest connector on your motherboard, which is this white colored connector. Line up the notch, which is this one. In my case, it is on this side, so I will connect it like so, and it is connected. Now look for another 4-pin connector, which is this one. You can see there are 4 pins. This is the motherboard power connector, and this will connect to the other white connector, as you can see there, which is this one. And let's connect that to that. Line up the notch. There we go. Now all we have to do is make sure that none of the wires are causing a hindrance for our rotating fan. Now we have to connect take one of these cable. This is your SATA power connector, and this will connect to your hard disk. So let me show you how you connect that. So this is my hard disk. I only have one hard disk, but with this power supply you can connect up to 2 hard disks, since it comes with 2 SATA cable connection. And if you look closely, right below your data cable, you will see that another connector to which you will connect your SATA power cable. So let's do that. And it is connected. Now we are left with another this SATA power connector. If you have another hard disk, you can power that hard disk using this connector. This is for powering your CD-ROM or DVD-ROM. Since nobody uses a CD or DVD drive in 2018, I don't have the drive either, so I'm not going to use this cable. I'm simply going to put it inside this compartment, which is currently not in use, and all I'm going to do is take the extra wire and tie the wire down around somewhere here so that it doesn't stop any of our connections. So I'm going to take a piece of wiring, pass it through there, and then I'm just going to, and now our cable is secure. Make sure that nothing is touching the fan. It is free to spin, and this is how you install a power supply. So let's turn it on. I've turned it on. Here is my switch. Let me turn it on, and there we go. The fan is spinning. And let's straighten up the computer. And let the power supply run for at least 5-6 minutes, and see whether it is shutting off automatically or not. If it is working continuously, that means the power supply is alright and it does not need any replacement. So you can see the boot screen. Windows is booting. I have installed Windows 7 in this PC, and I've been using this PC for more than about 10 years now. So there we go. This is how you install a computer power supply, and there we go. We're on the desktop, and this was the Zebronics ZEB N450 power supply. I hope you found this video helpful. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.